Everybody, I'm Tasha from the Major Change Group, and today I want to talk about my trip to Puerto Rico. So, last year I was telling you guys how I wanted to take a trip to Puerto Rico using all of my points, and I wanted to have my flight, my food, and my excursions and my hotel paid with my points. Now, this didn't really happen how I wanted to because in my last video, I was telling you guys about this trip that I took with this group travel, and it was a trip where we were not going to know where we were going. So we were going on this mysterious location, and the location ended up being Cancun. Y'all, I'm just like, really, Cancun? So y'all have to check out that video. So everything, it didn't happen how I wanted, to where now I'm going to have to leave Cancun and book this trip to Puerto Rico. So I didn't have my laptop and I'm doing everything on my phone. So I really didn't get to plan it in a way to where it was going to be so organized. So I was really just kind of going with the flow. Now, my trip to Puerto Rico was for 5 days, but when I booked it, I only booked for 3 days. I always said that I wanted to stay at the La Concha Residence Resort because that resort is so beautiful. The hotel is really nice. It's a beachfront. So I said that's where I wanted to stay. But when I went on my Chase If I Preferred portal, they didn't have any rooms available. And I only had about 89,000 points available as well because I had used about 20,000 when I had stayed at the hotel in New York on the first part of the trip. So you'll have to check out that video to see that part. But I was able to get a hotel at the Sheraton in Puerto Rico for 3 nights for like 89,000 points, which ended up being like $1,100 using my points. That's how much it ended up coming out to be. So that wasn't bad. So I said, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get over to Puerto Rico. And then once I get there, I'll decide how many days that I'm going to stay. So I just booked those 3 nights first. Now the Sheraton, it was a really nice hotel, and I booked it out of my Chase If I Preferred. And I want to say that ended up booking out of Expedia, if I'm not making a mistake. So when I got to the hotel, she told me that I had $35 a day for either like food, and I think it was at the pool, and then a Mexican restaurant within the hotel, and drinks even if I wanted to. So $35 a day. So that was pretty good because I didn't even know about that. So I was pretty happy about that. So I'm going to show you a room tour of the Sheraton in Puerto Rico, and it was nice. All right, here's a room tour of the Sheraton in Puerto Rico. So here's the bathroom. It's pretty standard. And then there's a closet here. I got some of my clothes in there. And you even have drawers and a safe. Well, that's good. And you got places where you can put your luggage. And I got a king size bed. Have a little nightstand over there. And a seating area. So it's pretty good because you have seating here. And then you have seating here. And then I'm just keeping my luggage there. And got a TV. I went kayaking today. I had a great time. Got a desk. Y'all, these are my favorite little snacks from Southwest. Oh my gosh, I just love those snacks. Got a little coffee maker. And then you have a refrigerator. But the only thing is you don't have a microwave. And then here is the view. So I think this is a pretty nice hotel. It's pretty nice. One reason I wanted to go to Puerto Rico too, because one of my favorite restaurants is there. It's this Italian restaurant. Now, I don't eat seafood, so this restaurant really came in handy because their pizza, their salad, their pasta is so good. And then they have this cute little outdoor sitting area. So I was so glad to go there. So I ended up going there like 3 times. So y'all, if you go to Puerto Rico, y'all have to go to this restaurant because it is amazing. The service is good, and it's really on the main strip of where I would say the touristy area is in Puerto Rico, and I believe that's in Condado, and so it's pretty cool. Now, some of the excursions that I did, I ended up going kayaking, and that was good. So that was in the Condado area as well, not too far from the La Concha. Now, the only difference between this kayak, first, it was a see-through kayak, so that was pretty good. And it was a two-person kayak, but it was just me. So I want to say it was about 5 or 6 couples, but then it was me as a solo traveler and then another girl as a solo traveler. And at first they asked if we wanted to, get in the same kayak. But, on the one hand, when you kayak and if you don't know the person, and even if you do know the person, I think it's better to just be in one kayak. But nobody fell out of the kayak. So that's pretty good. But I said, no, I'll just get my own kayak. But it was a two-person kayak. So that was kind of different from what I'm used to. But it was so cool. Now, I wasn't kayaking in the ocean. I don't really know what to call it, but it was like this body of water, but it wasn't the ocean. And so it was very calm, and it was really nice. And so I'll show you some pictures of that. But I really enjoyed kayaking. So some other things that I did in Puerto Rico, I went salsa dancing one night. That was cool. I kind of put my salsa skills because I've been taking lessons for salsa dancing, but it's kind of been like a month. So I was just like, let me see if I can remember. But I did pretty good. It was good. And I even did some excursions. Now, when I booked the excursions, I actually booked the excursions through the hotel at La Concha. And so I ended up going there like a day before and I booked the excursions. So I ended up going to the rainforest. Y'all, I had to get up probably I had to be down there at like 8:30. And I think it was like a half a day excursion. So we went to the rainforest and we got to see some waterfalls. And then we had ended up even going into this one area where it was a fall, but then it was like so rocky. So it was like my feet was hurting because I didn't have my water shoes on. Since I didn't bring my water shoes, and I probably should have bought me some water shoes, but I had bought me some little sandals, but I didn't wear the sandals in the water. So it's just like all those rocks and stuff. So it's kind of hurting my feet a little bit, but it was still good. So that was good. And we had even did one part of the excursion to where we had went to this beach, and the beach was the water was so calm, and it was really blue, and it was really nice. It was really nice. And so we stayed there maybe like an hour 30 minutes or so, and that was good. So I just walked the beach and I was in the water a little bit too. So within this excursion, I want to say it was 7 of us. So it was 3 couples and then it was me. And so we just got to go on the beach and all that kind of stuff. And then we had lunch. And so at lunch, I ended up having like some rice and beans, some chicken. I had plantains because I actually never had plantains before. So that was, like an experience. Then we also went to this observatory tower. And y'all, it had like 95 or 96 steps. But it was so, once you got all the way up, you could see the rainforest and stuff like that. So it was good. But I'm just like walking all those steps. I was just like, oh my goodness, but I actually did it. And that was good. So I had a great time on that excursion. And then another day, just kind of went through Puerto Rico and some of the different areas. And so went to this one restaurant. And so I got to eat some mofongo, and then they had this chicken on a stick, almost kind of like a kebab, but it was just chicken. So one of the other days, I ended up doing a catamaran tour through the La Concha as well. And I want to say it was three, well, I want to say, yeah, it was three couples and then it was me. But then we ended up meeting like a larger group to get on the catamaran. So it was like a family and maybe like some other couples. So we ended up doing snorkeling. And so I want to say it took about an hour to get over to the beach part. And so that was in Culebra, and it was really pretty as well because the water was so clear. But that hour ride, because the man, he told us if you get seasick, you might want to take some Dramamine because like those tides were like really going, and it almost kind of made me feel, I was just like, even after I got off, I could still kind of feel my body moving. So that was funny, but it was so beautiful there. So did some snorkeling because the water, it was so clear. So did some snorkeling, and then they kind of moved us to another area where the water wasn't like as deep, and just got to be in the water and all that kind of stuff. So I really like being like at the beach and stuff like that. So that was good. Now I really like booking excursions through the hotel because it can get your travel to and from. Also, they'll have food, so they did have food on the catamaran. And then when we had went to the rainforest, we did have to pay for food with that one, but at least it took us from the hotel to the rainforest. So that's why I like booking through the hotel, even though it's a little bit more expensive sometimes. So on Friday, I'm just like, okay, how long am I going to stay in Puerto Rico? And so I ended up going on to the American Express portal because I had 47,000 points. And when I went there, the La Concha was actually available, but it cost like $333 a night for the La Concha. And I had enough points for one night. So I only ended up staying at the La Concha for 2 nights. So that's how I ended up staying 5 days, because I stayed 3 nights at the Sheraton and then I stayed 2 nights at the La Concha. So y'all, the La Concha, oh my goodness, y'all, this hotel is so beautiful. It was so, and it smelled so good. So I'm gonna show you guys the tour of the La Concha Hotel. I'm telling you, if you go to Puerto Rico, you have to stay at this hotel because it is just beautiful, because it has the ocean front and things like that. So you'll have to check out this hotel. All right, y'all. So now I'm at the La Concha. It's a Renaissance hotel, and I just got here, and y'all, oh my God, this is why I wanted to come here, because I just love the La Concha. It is a really nice hotel. And I went on an excursion this morning that I booked through the hotel. And I went to the rainforest. Y'all, because I was at the other hotel and I had accumulated some things. So I got this box of stuff. Oh my goodness. Got a coffee maker. And then here is a safe. And then they have a refrigerator down here. So that's cool. The only thing is that it doesn't have a microwave. I don't think I see a microwave anywhere. And then here is the closet. And then they have an ironing board. And then over here, they have more closet space. Cool. Yes, this is nice. And it smells so good in here. Got the TV over here. Got a sitting area. Look at that. Oh my gosh. The only thing is that I don't have like a little balcony, but this is the view. So this is what I like about the La Concha. It has a, the ocean front. Yes, look at that. So I'm gonna be here for a few days, but I am so excited. I've had a really good time here so far. Yes, Puerto Rico has been good. Now, the difference between the Sheraton and the La Concha, even though they were both really nice hotels, the La Concha, for one, it was an oceanfront. And then the Sheraton was in their convention area. And so it was just a little bit more kind of quiet over there compared to at the La Concha. It was right on the main strip where a lot of the, where everything was kind of going on. So this was a little bit more of a touristy area at the La Concha. So it was kind of just like really hype over there compared to at the Sheraton. So I would say the Sheraton was a little bit more, it was a little calmer over there. But the La Concha, I just love the La Concha. So while I was on a solo trip in Puerto Rico, my mom knew somebody in Puerto Rico. So we got hooked up and we did some things together, like when we went to Old San Juan, and then we had ended up going out to dinner to STK, and this is in the Condado Vanderbilt. And y'all, this hotel is so beautiful. I'm just like, whenever I go back to Puerto Rico, I'm definitely gonna have to stay at the Vanderbilt because that hotel, it was so beautiful. I did try to take some footage, but it was nighttime and it was just so beautiful. And I don't really feel like the video that I took really did it justice, because at nighttime it almost put me in the mind of being on a cruise ship. And you know how when you look out in the water, you just see the water. It was just so beautiful. And the hotel, it was really, really nice. And so I said, whenever I go back to Puerto Rico, I'm definitely gonna have to stay there. But I'm just like, I'm gonna have to look and see how much it costs for a room there, because I bet it costs a lot. Because what was so funny, because the La Concha was kind of like two doors down, and it was like hopping at the La Concha. But then at the Condado Vanderbilt, it was just so calm and quiet. So it was like a different vibe. But on the one hand, it was just so beautiful. I'm just like, man, that hotel was nice. So I said, I got to go back there. But I would say overall, y'all, I had an amazing time in Puerto Rico. So now what we're going to do, we're going to get down to the numbers and we're going to see how much did it cost for the Puerto Rico trip, and then how much did I have to pay out of my pocket, with all my points and all that kind of stuff. So the trip with the hotel, the flight, the food, Ubers, and excursions, the trip was $3,710. But I had points for the Sheraton part. So that was $1,105.89. And then when I booked my hotel for the La Concha out of my American Express portal, I had points 47,000. So that was equivalent to $329. And then I had $1,500 in my cash back. So I ended up having to pay $702.53 out of my pocket. So the total trip was $3,710, but minus all the points and cash back, I only ended up having to spend $702. So I think that's pretty good. But you have to think that really the bulk of it was the hotels, because that was pretty much what, $1,800 for the hotels at, between the Sheraton and the La Concha. But out of my pocket, it only ended up being $702. But the only thing is, it wasn't a 100% trip paid with my points and my cash back, since I still had to pay $702 out of my pocket. But I'm still pretty happy with that, because I'm definitely glad that I didn't have to pay, the whole $3,000 out of my pocket, and I only end up having to pay the $702. Let me know in the comments, when you get your points and your cash back, how do you use them? Do you save them for a big trip, or do you, purchase things? Because I know myself, I've purchased headphones. I done purchased a Fitbit before. But this time I really wanted to save it all for a trip. And for the most part, I think I did pretty good. But I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, share with a friend, and turn your notification bell on so you'll be notified when new content comes out. I thank you so much for watching. Until next time.
It's not a game.